Oh my God!
It's just, your reviewing this is like confusing me.
Before we get out of here, I know I was talking to Stu not that long ago. He sent us that Vice document. Well, it really wasn't produced by Vice. That Vice thing about China. Have you seen it?
What?
The documentary of China. Because I know you guys were talking about it on Big Fight Weekly. It's sad. It's very, very sad.
I haven't got around to watching it yet, so I can't really comment. I can only comment from seeing China.
I wish we had. Hey Mel, is John still on? John, if you're still on, I have to see if he's on because I want to tell him. You want to know why she really did get let go? Because Cornette talked about it.
What's up?
It was what John said. John Scott from Power 4.
TV.
It was
Power 4 TV.
Power 4 TV. John brought it up. It's true. It was JR that broke that story. She wanted the same amount of money as Stone Cold Steve Austin, and they said no.
Okay.
She wanted to be on that level or be pushed like Stone Cold, and Vince said no. Because none of the guys were going to do a job for her.
Okay.
And she got pissed off.
Yeah, but you also got to realize what John said about China, about the innovation that she brought to the ladies' side as well. No one ever would have thought she would have fought, a male. Everyone always expected, ladies versus ladies. She changed all that, the whole ladies versus a man going into the Royal Rumble for the first time, as a lady. No one expected it. She broke the barrier for a lot of ladies now, so. Exactly. I can understand why she'd want Stone Cold money because she was just as hot at the time. She was doing things, doing things now that you look at the ladies in wrestling across the whole. My dogs are doing my head in. Across the whole of wrestling, they're all where they are because of what China did and what China pushed through.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, sadly, on a negative note, I did dude. Now that you bring this up, I swear, maybe a couple weeks back.
We're getting into wrestling.
I was watching a small little it was a small video, about a 5-minute video, 5 to 7 minutes about.
Bless you, my love.
About WWE wrestlers who admitted steroid use.
Well, Benoit had to be on that list.
No, because they didn't bring him up for obvious reasons.
Ultimate Warrior.
Yes.
The steroid warrior.
China. Apparently. When all this was going down, she explained to people that he
wasn't on
steroid
roids.
Use for women, they react much different than men.
Mm-hmm.
And what it did to her, and it all kind of ties into what you're saying, kind of. I'm thinking maybe there was a less of a push because they knew the roid usage was there.
Oh God, yeah.
And again,
Possibly.
People who were using roids, they did the deniability thing. I didn't know that person was using roids. I'm firing them.
Yeah, just
to make them look good.
Just like they didn't know the Ultimate Warrior was on roids, even though he was a crackpot.
Listen, back in the day, I am 100% sure. Back in the day, they all would have fucking
Hogan.
Possibly everybody. I can't say because I wasn't there. I'm only going off the top of my head, and things were different. Things were different in the 80s to 90s to they are now, where it's a bit more, controlled. Where you people test your piss, innit? Your piss out. You find that in MMA now. You know what I mean? You can't get away with shit anymore.
No, I believe Hogan was on roids. I don't believe Savage was on roids. You're gonna tell me that's roids? Randy Savage, Macho?
I don't think Macho, but I
think
Ultimate
Warrior.
Razor Ramon.
Scott Hall admitted that he was on roids.
Busted.
He had a drinking drugs
busted. Michaels, although he admitted every drug he took.
The only person in that video that I watched that truly admitted that they were using and then stopped was Kurt Angle.
Oh yeah, he admitted it. He admitted it big time. Triple H denies that he used roids. He did. You can tell that. You can tell from the 90s to the 2000s when they pushed him. Come on, man.
This video broke down.
He was using roids.
This video broke down for the superstars they covered.
Yeah.
The weight loss.
Yep.
And that gap So for Hogan,
yeah, definitely.
Who else did they cover? Papa Pump.
Yep.
I think Triple H.
Look at him. Yeah, those are roids. That's roids.
Have you got to understand Kurt Angle though? I don't condone it as a viewer, and I enjoy watching these people do their job. But I mean, the guy was walking around with a broken fucking neck.
Yeah, yep. He even said, he's all like, you know what? I was like, he said the reason why he stopped. He was all like, you know what? I was an Olympic gold medalist, and I had broken my neck, and he's all like, I just became a shell of a person of the athlete that I was. So he's like, you know what? If you test me right now, I'd be clean. But so he was just all like, he's all like, I'm not the only one either. I mean, he didn't name names, but he definitely
said he's not going to though.
It's interesting when they did that, they did not bring up Benoit. It's interesting
they didn't for obvious reasons.
Because of the whole bullshit. No, I know.
Messed up situation.
Yeah, but you can't say bullshit. But I mean,
I'm not justifying.
Me and Don had a good conversation, very brief, but on Facebook, and when we were talking about it, and we were talking on, writing on the statuses. I mean, his shit is out of this world for what he did, but I've said this countless of times. I feel like people like this, they suffer with depression and everything else that goes into the job they have. You don't forget how many times he's been hit in the head, and I'm not condoning what he did now, and I'm not agreeing with it. It's people like that need to be looked after. They need to be looked after. They need to be catched before they go down this rabbit hole and this dark alley. They end up doing wild stuff. And it ends up either, them killing the family, them killing themselves. They need support. They all need support. I'm not talking just wrestlers. I'm talking about everybody.
Everybody exactly has concussions. Excuse me.
Well, just everything in general. They need to be looked after because, some people don't suffer with anything and then they retire from their sport and then, that's it for them. People that leave the army have the same problem. Do you know what I mean? It's people need to be there to support these people.
Yeah. It's so essentially it's like you're riding this high in your life. And let's say you're riding the high and then that high kind of goes down. Maybe you take a small dip. And let's say you're already a manic depressive person and you go through your highs and your lows. If you're taking that small dip, even though it's a little dip, it's going to seem like so much more to you mentally because of the issues that are present with you.
I don't believe in that Vice documentary. He went crazy. He focused his life to be like Dynamite Kid, and you could testify to this, Chris. Watch that Vice thing. Dynamite Kid was a prick,
right?
He wanted, but he didn't impress.
Again, you're watching something that's giving you the impression he was a prick. You don't know. This is people saying he's a prick, but these people might not like Dynamite Kid. I grew up watching him and Bulldog with Stuart when we were kids, and I love watching them two together.
I mean, they said the same thing about Davey.
But he was on cocaine, he was on heroin.
Davey was a drug addict. Right.
It doesn't knock for what they did. Sometimes these people, again, it's going back to what me and Don are talking about. They've gone down this dark route, and they can't stop. It's like Scott Hall with his alcoholism, Jake the Snake. All these people have gone down dark routes. But I think Diamond Dallas Page has helped all these people now.
Exactly.
It would be great if he was there a few years ago to help the others. Maybe he could have helped Chris Benoit. He could have helped China. He could have helped someone. But I don't agree with people saying that Dynamite Kid was a prick. I don't agree with that. I think everyone's got their opinion. Obviously, I don't know the guy personally, so I'm not going to obviously say he's a prick.
Right. But you believe what Helen said about how he would the same thing with Benoit, dude. All those concussions.
Like, did you not remember the Stanley?
I'll shoot you right now if you leave me.
Right.
That's how Dynamite was.
That's mental issues there.
But
if that were true about Dynamite Kid, maybe it's a sense of he's
that Jacques Rougeau story. What do you think about that?
Or here, how about this? Right? Like, okay, so let's say you're a successful superstar, no matter what time frame, 80s, 90s, 2000s, like Attitude Era, doesn't matter. You have a fragile state of mental health, and they turn you heel. And now you're already fragile up here, and now you got to play heel. Got to play the bad guy. Something will click, and that might bring out a side of you that essentially you don't like.
Right.
You know, I think that's happened to a few wrestlers. Where
I think actually you've got a good point there, because I think Heath Slater playing the Joker did that to him as well.
Mm-hmm.
Or got so involved in the character, and he was suffering mental health issues as well. So, I mean, yeah, I totally agree. It can happen, but like I say, they need looking after. They need someone there that's going to follow them around everywhere and just say, "Are you okay?" Because I don't think they get asked enough. Are you okay? Yes, it's a question that people like myself and Dom who suffer with mental health, and we don't like that question. But at the same time, you've got to be asked. You've got to be asked.
Yeah,
it has to be not forced out, because you have to give it a gradual. You don't want to force anyone with any mental health issue to openly open an aggression because you've pissed us off. I keep asking, but knowing that someone's there, I think it helps people along. Well, I'd like to think so.
Speaking of the wrestling aspect, who do you blame for that? Do you blame Vince or for not trying to get them help, or do you blame the character?
Here's the thing.
People.
Here's the thing about that.
The wrestlers. Do you blame Vince for not seeing the signs?
I don't.
Or do you blame the wrestlers for not going out and talking?
I don't.
To them?
Yeah, I don't fully blame Vince, because he's a businessman through and through.
But he's fucked up that product.
And it's all like, it's not his job necessarily to check up on every single person's mental health there. All of the employees, athletes. It's up to them to say, "Hey, I don't feel good. I need some help. I need time off. I need this. I need that. Can you help me?"
Like Cactus. Cactus got out of it quick.
I mean, you're telling me, being a WWE superstar, you don't have amazing health insurance that doesn't cover this?
They don't.
They don't?
You would like to think so, wouldn't you? With all the money.
Ask John.
Yeah.
Nope. They don't. They ask John.
So then there's your factor right there.
John, is he leaving comments, babe? We still can't get Facebook comments. I don't know why.
You've got 2 people watching on Facebook, but I couldn't tell. Mel's one of them, and I'm one of them. There you go.
I know it's hard to get Facebook comments on this, but yeah, John knows. Yeah, they do not get health insurance. They're on that bullshit. That's how Vince gets out of it.
They're on what, Medicare or something?
They're considered, and John can testify to this. That's what Ventura fought for.
They're not unionized.
No, they're not unionized. Independent contractors. He wanted to. Okay. That's fucked up. So that's how they don't get health insurance.
Yeah,
but it's the same in UFC.
Because they're considered independent contractors.
It's the same in UFC though, and there's a lot of kickoff for that as well.
Dana doesn't give them health insurance.
Well, I think he said he does, but people are saying that they should be having it after they've left UFC, retired. And his comments back is what company gives anyone any health insurance once you've left the company?
You want to know something funny about that? Did you know this? I got you guys on this. Babe, listen to this one. Guess who wanted to buy the UFC before Dana White did?
Vince?
I wanted Chris. Who do you think?
I'm not sure.
Shane
McMahon?
Shane wanted to buy the UFC, and he tried to talk Vince to buy it.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow.
This came from Brian Cornette's guy, fucking Brian Last. He said he was talking to who owns Summer 4 Entertainment? It wasn't the Fertitas, right? The
Fertitta brothers owned the UFC. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they did, obviously. WME.
The old UFC, when it went bankrupt, before Dana White was going to buy the company, Shane told Vince, buy UFC.
Okay.
Buy UFC. And Vince said no, he didn't want to buy it. Yep. And then Shane got mad. That's why he was off TV. Oh, Shane he invested in an Oriental fighting company.
Okay.
But I think that happened years.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but I'm thinking when the Fertitta brothers bought UFC, Shane was still around. I think he wanted shares, but I'm not sure it was UFC. But I knew somebody wanted to get into MMA.
Oh, we got 6 whoever owns Summer 4 Entertainment, when they went bankrupt and sold all that stuff about UFC, Shane wanted to buy it. And he wanted Vince to buy it.
Well, I'm glad he fucking didn't.
Really? Can you imagine Vince owning the UFC? Oh, fuck. Look what happened with the XFL, for Christ's sake.
It would have been another clown fest. God. I mean, I would like to think, even though, you know what? I like to dream here. It would have been great if, like, hypothetically speaking, purely hypotheticals.
Yeah.
That he bought UFC, didn't know what to do with it.
Oh, Christ.
And then with WWE, we hit a PG era, but then he uses the UFC to do that raw entertainment.
Already here.
Like violence and like, you know, kind of to help maintain that Attitude Era vibe. That would have been amazing to see, hypothetically. But we all know that would never happen, even if we had the rights to it.
Yeah,
you guys are awesome. Keep showing up, man. We're having a good time here.
It's a different sport, and there is a lot of similarities now. You know, I mean, a lot of fighters use you know, like say Conor McGregor, Chael Sonnen, they all use sort of WWE sort of promos, you know, to sell a fight, which is, you know, is fair enough because that's what wrestlers do, and it's fantastic. Early on, when Dana White and Petit Brothers bought the UFC and they were losing money, they looked at the whole transcript of how the WWE was run. See, if you look back at the older days of UFC, they all come down a big ramp, don't they? Like quite, you know, not long after Dana and Petit Brothers got hold of it, that was something they looked at the WWE. They looked at how they made money because, you know, WWE has always made money.
Yeah.
So, you know, they have taken snippets from, you know, professional wrestling. And also, like I said, fighters have used it as well to sell a fight. There's always a bit of comparisons because obviously we've had Brock Lesnar, we've had CM Punk, haven't we? And we've had Dan Severn go to wrestling. Obviously, Brock Lesnar has been back and forward. Yeah. You know, we've had back and forwards of it. And, you know, a lot of them fought in Pride as well. Pride had a lot of professional wrestlers fight. Alberto Rayo fought in Pride.
Yeah. By the way, Chris, I wanted to tell you this. Have you seen skewing into UFC, and then we're going to not talk about it. Did you see what Don Fry said?
I love Don Fry. Madman.
Don Fry wants to come back. He wants to come back, Don Fry, that old bastard.
I'm not sure that Don Fry should come back. I think he'd be a great coach.
Yeah.
Him and Dan Severn were animals back in the day.
Hold on, wait. We have a comment. What did Ruben say?
Pride was run by Yakuza. Was it Yakuza the game?
Yeah, Ruben, you're getting on this show. Yeah, it was run by Yakuza.
Yeah, but there were a lot of.
You're talking about the gang Yakuza,
yep.
Yeah, man.
Gang. It was owned by Yakuza. Good, hey, Ruben.
They were owned by gangsters and some really shady people. Pride.
I had no fucking clue.
Yeah, really shady, and that's where they ended up. Where they folded in the end.
Yep.
But you know, I mean,
they weren't even testing for drugs in the fucking Pride. No. Be right back, ladies and gentlemen. They weren't testing for drugs, guys.
Just look at Bob Sapp. Everyone should know who Bob Sapp is.
Yeah, I never even bothered thinking about that. That's insane.
Yeah, there was a lot of. I mean, at the end of the day, if you take that away from the shady business of Pride, they put on some amazing fights. They had some amazing fighters on there. You know what I mean? So I can look past them being run by shady business people because they put on great fights. And I didn't lose any money over it, so it's all right.
Yeah, for sure. That's crazy. That's fucking nuts.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I was it was crazy to think how quick UFC bought them out. If it back in, is it 2006? Maybe a bit later on. I might be a bit wrong there, but UFC, like when they went into like bankruptcy, UFC just came in, snapped it up, bang.
Okay, yeah.
But yes, love the shit. Those soccer, there you go. Ruben has wrote back. Those soccer kicks were nuts. I'd call them football kicks, but yes, that was great about Pride. You could kick them in the face when they're down. Well, I would say it's great. I wouldn't want to be the person taking it, but
oh hell no.
They can knee a downed opponent, and it was ruthless, absolutely ruthless.
So yeah, like I get you. There's none of that fucking like, oh, we're in the corner and the ref's got to count to 10 to break them. No, right?
Yeah.
None of that. It's just straight.
If I punched you and you fell on the floor in Pride, I could back up a tiny bit and then give you a right welly to the face of my foot.
Okay, yeah.
Like in a street fight, so, sort of say, yeah?
Real fighting, yeah, essentially. You're not gonna
Yeah, but I'm not sure you could have much of a career after it if you've got multiple, you know, as Ruben says, soccer kicks to the face. They were ruthless. Nah. They were like in UFC, you're not allowed to knee a downed opponent. Once I put my hands on the mat, you can't knee me. In Pride, I could knee the fuck out of you.
Okay, yeah, that's fucked up. That's insane, but again, that's why some of the best fights like you've ever seen because
Ruben football.
Oh, because like is kind of bare bones, like real, like it's raw fucking fighting, like something you would do to somebody if you had to like defend yourself for real.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'll wait till Chris is done.
No, it was like, listen, anybody who's watching, you can find loads of Pride fights on YouTube. You don't have to get UFC Fight Pass for it, but there's loads of fights on there. Fedor was amazing in that. Fedor's a goat of the sport, and he knocked out everybody. But he fought some weird, crazy 7-foot giant flipping Japanese man.
Holy shit!
But it's all on YouTube. You can find it all. But yeah, there you go, Albert. Fry away, mate.